Hey folks, my name is Mo Amir and this is VANCOLOUR, British Columbia's bona fide culture and politics TV talk show. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Now usually we're a family-friendly program, but tonight's episode, despite the holiday aesthetic, may be disturbing for some viewers. If you have kids who are very excited about Santa, tonight is not for them. Because pollster Mario Canseco reunites his data with comedian Dino Archie's low road wisdom about when you, as a parent, should tell your kids the truth about Santa Claus. But first, I'm just gonna say it. Rats are nightmare fuel. They are not good for public health, and they even destroy infrastructure. Now, did you know that 4 of the top 5 most rat-infested cities in Canada are in British Columbia? And while Vancouver is developing a reputation as a rodent city, Victoria is even rattier as the second most rat-infested city in Canada behind Toronto. Only one politician that I've seen is talking about this issue. He's running to be your next mayor of Vancouver with the Vancouver Liberals. He is Kareem Allam.
Hi, Mo.
Kareem, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me on again.
I feel very validated because I feel like I've been noticing more rats in the city. And then I know that friend of the show, JJ McCullough, had a post that went viral where he's filming rats outside the Vancouver Art Gallery. So it's not just in our heads. There are more rats in not just Vancouver, but throughout British Columbia.
Yeah, it was actually JJ's tweet about those rats, that video that he shot on the art gallery that first captured my attention. But as I've been campaigning, I started talking to restaurant owners. I started to talk to homeowners in the more suburban parts of Vancouver, and they've talked about a massive rat infestation explosion. I was in the downtown east side and I was doing a roundtable with some unhoused people. And I just asked, what are some really simple things I could do as mayor that doesn't cost a lot of money to make your life better? And the first thing they started talking about was rats.
Wow, okay.
So it's definitely an issue that I think a lot of people in Vancouver have noticed, but I'm surprised. And it's also an issue that's gotten a lot of media coverage, but I'm really surprised that no other elected official has been talking about it.
So why now? Why are we seeing an explosion of rats throughout the province? Because obviously you're running for the mayor of Vancouver, but it's not just Vancouver, it's everywhere.
So what happened in 2021, the provincial government under John Horgan put in a temporary ban on rodent poison, a special class of rodent poison that was very highly effective in killing rodents. And then in 2023...
Because that poison also killed other wildlife, from my understanding.
Yes,
right?
That's exactly right. Okay. So what would happen is the rats would eat that poison, and then a dog, an owl, some other animal would eat that dead rat, and then they would get poisoned.
Oh,
so
no.
It was actually a pretty good policy to get rid of it. In 2023, they made that temporary ban permanent. But when they enacted that ban, there was no plan B. Okay, we're going to get rid of the poison, and now here are all the things that we're going to do. In Vancouver, what's also made the problem worse is we've reduced garbage pickup times. We've seen a massive proliferation and growth of people composting in their homes, people building their own compost, so the rats are able to sort of jump in to the compost and eat the garbage. We've seen other jurisdictions like New York and Toronto appoint rat czars or come out with rat plans. But meanwhile, here in the city of Vancouver, we've got absolutely nothing. And I could talk about some of those strategies in other jurisdictions, but
it sounds like we're going to blame David Eby a little bit because he made the ban permanent without a backup plan of how to deal with the rats. And then the city of Vancouver itself, at least here in Vancouver, hasn't had a plan either and has made things worse with lack of regular garbage pickup. Is that fair?
Yes,
okay.
A lack of regular garbage pickup, not just at homes, but also just the garbage cans that you'll see on Granville Street or around downtown Vancouver.
Yeah,
and we often see these trash cans overflow. This part's really disgusting, Mo. But we've also been to dog parks where we see the piles and piles and piles of dog poop that are overflowing out of these trash cans.
Oh no!
Rats eat dog poop. It's really gross.
Yikes!
So
okay.
All this is helping fuel the growth in the rat population. The strategy to combat it really is 2 parts. One is you deal with the food and the garbage, and the second part is habitat, and we can talk a little bit about that as well too.
Okay, well, how do we deal with it? Because as far as I know, rats don't need a lot to survive, and also they make a lot of babies. They make a lot of rat babies, right?
Yeah. So a good stat for you to know, or a good piece of information for you to know, is a rat can live on the oil of a discarded Lay's potato chip bag for a week.
What?
So you don't need that much food to live.
Just the oil, just the slick on the bag.
Just the slick on the bag is enough to feed a rat for a week. And a mating pair of rats can produce 100 offspring in a single year with the right conditions.
Wow.
We don't get the same cold winters that they have in Toronto. So we've got a third problem here is our rats live longer. They become smarter. They pass on their learned traits to their kids. And so all these rat traps that you see around the city of Vancouver, you can actually take pictures of rats dancing on top of the traps because they won't go inside anymore because it's a learned behavior to not go in there and potentially die.
This sounds like a dystopian nightmare. What can we do to fix it?
Yeah, so New York brought in a rat czar, and they took this problem really, really seriously. So the first thing they did was more frequent garbage pickup. The second thing is all these open air garbage cans that you'd see in downtown Vancouver around all the different BIAs. They've created these stainless steel garbage containers that are hand activated, similar to what you'd see at BC parks. So the rats can't get into the garbage. We've got to work with industry on the dumpsters because a lot of rats are able to climb up those dumpsters and get in. So we need better sealing on the dumpsters. But the last part really is going to be around just thinking through what our composting system is working like. The garbage cans that we have at people's homes, are they rat proof? In most cases, they're not. The green bin recycling, sometimes in neighborhoods, they're the older ones and the rats are able to jump in and access the food. But then the last part obviously is habitat. It doesn't take a lot of cracked concrete for a rat to be able to get into your house or get into a building and use that as a habitat.
Wow. Okay. And so this can be done on a city level?
Absolutely, it can be done at a city level. To me, in my view, it's a core service. We've seen as a result of the lack of response here in the city of Vancouver, some really, really bad outcomes. We've seen the Vancouver School Board report that they've had infestations of rats at our children's schools, at elementary schools, at high schools. We saw last week that part of St. Paul's Hospital had to ask patients to leave because of a mice infestation in the hospital.
Wow, that's atrocious.
I used to work for the health authority, for the Fraser Health Authority, and even there we knew that we had huge challenges with controlling the rodent population. This is a hidden tax on businesses as well. If the city doesn't take care of it, restaurants and all these other businesses are having to hire Orkin and companies like that to do the work that the city really should be doing. But it's going to take a very collaborative, very thoughtful, but very focused effort to really get a control of this problem. We're never going to have zero rats. We're never going to be like Alberta. Part of the issue
Wait, Alberta has zero rats?
Alberta has zero rats. They've been rat-free for a really long time.
Wow.
And they use rat poison, and they have a whole bunch of other techniques that they use. It's actually the only jurisdiction in North America that's rat-free. But because we have an ocean coastline, also when mollusks and things wash up to the beach, that's also food for rats. So there's nothing we're ever going to be able to do to control the lack or the amount of food that just washes ashore that the rats are eating.
So the moniker rings true. We're Rat-couver, basically.
We're basically Rat-couver.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's what I got. They spread disease. They're freaking terrible. We need to get rid of them. This is how the bubonic plague started. And I'm personally hoping that at the end of my campaign, we've made this the end, this a part of history. This is a t-shirt that I got for you, Mo, Rat-couver. Here you go, my friend.
I'm going to wear this with pride. And yeah, hopefully it is a relic one day that we can look fondly upon. Kareem, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thanks a lot, Mo.
Folks, he's running to be the next mayor of Vancouver with the Vancouver Liberals. He is Kareem Allam. Now, after some business, maybe put the kids to bed for this one, because when should parents talk to their kids about the truth behind Santa Claus? Two dads, Mario Conseco and Dino Archie, will give us the data and their wisdom from the low road up next.